Now, an ecological disaster that has puzzled scientists from Poland and Germany for weeks now.
An environmental catastrophe. Tons of fish have been washed up along hundreds of kilometres.
It's been called an environmental catastrophe of unprecedented scale. Tons of dead fish washing up in the River Oder between Germany and Poland. Poisoned by a so far mystery pollutant.
Tons are washing up in the river, which helps form Germany's border with Poland. Johannes Giebermann is an environmentalist who lives in this area. He's been documenting the crisis from its beginning.
I've never seen so many dead fish in my life.
Something unheard of for people living here.
I have been fishing here for 40 years and have never experienced anything like this on this scale. It gives me goosebumps when I see how many dead fish there are here in the Oder.
Official advice is for people to stay away from the river while the authorities establish what is killing the fish.
As of today, no water tests have confirmed the presence of toxic substances.
There has never in my life been such an occurrence that so many fish died over such a short time. Unusual oxygen levels of very low water levels.
Now, we're learning about a strange situation at an Illinois creek. Residents near Clear Creek have reported a large amount of dead fish. The creek flows through Clark and Edgar County.
It's happened again. Another dead fish spill on a local beach. This isn't the first time it's been a health problem for people who want to enjoy their summers on the sand.
People tell me they started noticing the dead fish about 7:30 this morning. This time, though, it was not just menhaden. There were larger fish species involved as well.
It seems like an unmitigated environmental disaster.
Beth Deal and her family are visiting from Roanoke. She was surprised by what she saw this morning on the beach at Kiptopeke State Park.
Birds everywhere. And then a few minutes after that, we just saw thousands of menhaden floating towards the beach.
We started seeing just thousands of dotted fish in the ocean.
We're in the heart of summer, and the one thing on your mind is getting in the water and cooling off. But there's a few things you want to keep in mind before you bring your family to the beach.
Piles of dead alewives. Tiny silvery fish are lining the beaches of Lake Michigan, rolling in wave by wave.
The die-off we have this year is probably in the millions. No issues with, pollution or anything in Lake Michigan. It's probably the cleanest it's been.
This year, the reports and the piles keep growing, and it's a little bit more than the years past.
Hitting historical highs upon invasion.
Well, Europe is battling extremes of fire, flood and drought all at the same time.
Meteorologists there say Europe's conditions could be worse than they've ever been in more than 500 years.
The latest in a series of fierce heat waves has moved into the U.S. Northwest, and violent storms and drought are ravaging parts of Europe and Asia.
A sea of flames washes across a national park in central Portugal.
140-mile-an-hour winds hit the island of Corsica, just off the coast of those.
It's the same in Italy. Firefighters in temperatures of 40 degrees battling to contain blazes in Sicily, while on the island of Pantelleria, tourists in Venice had to run for cover as wild winds and rain swept in.
Elsewhere, dead fish bake in the hot summer sun as Europe endures its fourth heat wave. But the lack of rain has British farmers fearing their livestock might run out of food.
I've lived here all my life. I'm 24 and I've never seen it so dry.
Take this field in London. It should be filled with green grass.
In cities across France, sheets of rain and hail pound the streets. Trees are uprooted in backyards, and people wade through storm waters overflowing onto sidewalks. These extreme events, which climate scientists say are increasingly being driven by a warming world, are spreading wider and wider. In Germany, it's been the opposite. An extreme drought has shrunk some of the nation's major rivers.
Such is summer in Europe that's been marked by record-breaking extreme temperatures. And the continent's worst drought in years, perhaps centuries, has pushed water levels so low on the Danube River in eastern Serbia that more than 20 warships from World War II have been uncovered. In their holds, thousands of tons of ammunition.
Over 4,000 miles away in China, another drought is underway. Facing months of heat waves, Residents of Chongqing in the Sichuan province say the wind now just blows heat.
I feel like I'm standing on a gas stove.
The Yangtze River has shrunk to half its normal width.
We could hardly imagine at the moment that we're speaking apocalyptic scenes which took place this morning, the only witnesses to the violence of the elements.
It has seen it all. What's left? On the 17th of August, even hailstorm fell on parts of France. Is any of this normal? It is not. This is extreme weather. This is climate change, changing our world and our realities.